All right, today we get a deep dive into Mouse P.I for Hire. I'm excited for this game. I think it comes out on the 16th. Super excited for it. Let's see what it's about.
Crooks beware. Detective Pepper's in the house.
Okay. Not gonna lie, off rip. The art style is crazy.
Combine game dev with animation.
We wanted to make a game that looks like the cartoons that your grandparents
Like, come on, bro. This shit is hand drawn too.
And the rest is history.
It's hand drawn.
Mouse P.I for Hire for me is
Wow.
They won't even know what hit them.
surprising.
Shit, I like that melee. He just like kicked him.
Wacky, extraordinary.
More than just an old school shooter.
Wow.
It's a game like
Oh, you got like mini games and stuff too? That's gonna be
Are you
cool.
ready for a sneak peek of what we are cooking here?
Yeah. I need a sneak peek, bro. I need some merch too. I seen that merch they was wearing, bro. That shit look fire.
My name is Maciej Krzemień.
Get that
I'm
merch.
the lead producer at Fumi Games. Mouse P.I for Hire is an FPS game, but in a very unusual setting.
You got that Xbox controller too, bro. Y'all team Xbox or y'all team PlayStation? Let me know.
What's unique is that everything you see, characters, weapons, it's drawn by hand, frame by frame.
Yo.
Everything you see in the game is handcrafted.
So at the beginning, we specialize
Hand
in
drawn, frame by
animation.
frame. No AI
People should have the possibility and space to be creative. So
in this
when
day
we
and
announced
age.
that our
Hey,
art
you gotta
director
appreciate a
came
game
with
like this.
Great idea. I
You
knew
have to
he was
appreciate a
focused
game
on
like this, bro.
Hi, I'm Michał.
All right, we back, we
I'm
back.
the
My bad,
architect
y'all.
and
My
lead
bad.
animator. For me, this game is a great opportunity to spread with the world my passion about the rubber hose animation. It is
Wow.
of pop culture that
All of this
resonates
is
with
hand drawn, by the way, y'all. Remember that.
My name is Mateusz, and I'm a lead narrative designer at Fumi Games.
And the game is only 30 bucks.
Story
Like,
is just
come on, y'all.
sheer
$30 for this is crazy.
tackling subjects.
I feel like they kind of lowballing themselves, bro. No bullshit. This game is clearly worth like $60.
Łukasz Błaszczyk. I'm the lead game designer for Mouse P.I for Hire. What I hope
Thank you,
that
Lucas.
fans will learn from this video is that it isn't just another copy-paste. of
Hey,
the
shout out to my
game.
boy Lucas right here, man.
You're gonna
Lead
meet
designer
NPCs,
right there.
You're gonna learn the world. You're gonna find a deep, engaging story. We've designed the game around you having fun.
I like that. Okay, chapter one. Okay.
Our main goal with Mouse
Bro.
is that every frame of the game should look like old cartoon film from the 1930s.
A clue, a lead.
Yo.
What more could a mouse detective want?
So
Yo, I'm
every
excited.
element
This shit look
of
fire,
all
bro.
The weapons, enemies, everything is.
I'm excited to see the different weapons they have in this too.
challenges that we have to overcome is to make sure that every frame of the animation will be as close as possible to 1930s rubber hose style.
Yeah.
Rubber hose animation is the style of animation developed in the United States in
1930s?
1940s,
Oh,
and
1920s?
The things
Okay.
that could be the representative of this art style is the bounce animation.
Everything bends, everything stretches and squeezes. It gives us all kinds of different things that, for example, our characters can do with their hands or legs. We're not limited by a realistic art style.
I like that.
So when we consider 2D characters running around a 3D environment, that presents a challenge for designers.
So unlike the 3D characters that we can make,
They got a gun where you can
one
freeze
model
people.
of
That's
characters
actually gonna be
and,
cool.
Turn him around. We need to make 6 different positions, 6 different angles for each of the characters.
I feel like they
from
seen the.
front,
I feel like they
back,
seen
side,
Cuphead and was like,
side,
"Yo,
and back.
how
So
could
when
we make this
are
game a
going
little
for
bit
the
better than
3D
that?"
environment, we
Not
can
saying
see
Cuphead was
the
bad. I loved
character
Cuphead,
is
but
flat and
this
turns
is
him
like
around.
game
The
changer right here.
final result of this is a lot of drawings to do.
With 2D, every single change I, as a designer, make to the game balance, that causes a avalanche.
That shirt
of
is
changes
fire
to the
though,
game
by the way.
itself. If I speed up a character, they have to redo animations. The art team loves me.
Oh,
One of the biggest challenges with Mouse P.I for Hire was the black and white aesthetic, because usually you will use specific
yo, you
tricks
could wall
to
bounce
guide
and
the
shit.
players through certain locations. You have the well-known yellow paint that shows you where to use what. And we don't have that because we have a completely black and white game. So you have to guide players through light. We will often use typical black and white on objects that can be moved, will be interactable.
Oh, look at the
while
guns.
Maintaining grayscale and no outlines on objects that you can't interact with.
We want to put a life to the world through the animation elements. So on every level there will be something extraordinary and unique to see and to experience.
Yeah. Cops, crooks, and clues.
The world of Mouse P.I for Hire is a sprawling world that we were working hard on making as believable as it can be in a rubber hose style. And as such, it's a little bit comedic and is a little bit serious when it needs to be. And the city that the game takes place in is called Mouseburg. It has its own unique flavor. It's a cheesy flavor, you might say.
A cheesy flavor. Yo, that was a good one. I ain't gonna lie.
Call me a cheesehead, but that elevator wasn't here before.
Most of the society in Mouseburg consists of mice, but there are also shrews and rats as well. But with a society this diverse, it sometimes creates.
Bro, all of this was some type of
friction.
animation
And
right here.
our
Like everything you guys see,
protagonist, Jack,
hand
is
drawn,
in the middle of those
animated.
situations where the
Like
friction
this
occurs,
is
and
this
it's
is
up to
crazy,
us
bro.
To solve those problems.
Like you gotta tip your
in
hat
many
off
different
to
ways.
these developers
Beware, Detective
and
Pepper's in the
designers.
house.
So Jack Pepper, as the title says, he's a private investigator. He's a war veteran.
'Cause that's
He
actually
has
that's
his own
actually
scars.
pretty
He has
crazy.
his way of extracting information, and it's not always as graceful as you might expect.
What was that for?
Standard procedure. Little sucker punch before questioning never killed anyone.
So, as a private investigator, Jack is approached by his clients.
A
And
little
he is
sucker
tasked with
punch.
solving 3 different cases. Each of those cases serves a different purpose and adheres to a different trope in general noir theme.
Basically, the cases are starting points for each.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. That mouse was thick as
A
hell.
different purpose and adheres to a different trope in general
hold on.
noir theme.
Hold on, that mouse kind of thick. That's his girl. I guess we're gonna have to figure that one out, mama.
Basically, the cases are starting points for each separate storyline that we have. Along the way, on the levels, we find some clues. Sometimes these are notes, sometimes these are physical items.
Seems
Okay.
I'm not the only party here.
And once we get back to Jack's office, we approach a corkboard.
And whenever there is even a feeble connection between those evidences, you just link them with a red line, which in our case is a gray line. And there's a chance that it will open up a way to move the case forward, to open up next level.
Oh, so you gotta like figure out the little clues and stuff. Wait, that's gonna be tough, bro. I like that.
Or open
I
up
like that.
conversations with an NPC in the hub zone.
Hub is our home, where you start the case, where you end every case.
There are 3 main
Okay.
areas in the hub. Jack's office, the pub,
The hub. What you mean about the hub, though? What you mean by the hub, my boy? Freaky ass mouse.
called Little Big, that is run by John Brown, Jack's friend. And there's Tammy's workshop, when you can upgrade your weapons and just talk to her whenever your heart's desire.
Sup, Jack?
When you visit the Little Big pub, you can encounter 3 different NPCs. Each of them
Huh?
serves as a handler for a different minigame. One of
I like
which
these
is a
minigames they
collectible
have.
baseball card game. You can collect cards throughout the whole world. Almost every single level has at least one.
Those
hidden
are- those-
somewhere. And based on that, you can build your own deck of cards.
Yeah, that's
Minigames,
actually
you
pretty
can
cool.
Sometimes win hints, additional clues, or parts for some upgrades.
So whenever you're stuck with your current case, there's always someone to talk to in the hub.
I'm Igor.
Ew.
Igor. Not I.
Ew, what the fuck? What is that? Mutated ass mouse.
Igor.
And as soon as you have your next steps figured out, then you can go just find your car, And as soon as you interact with it, you're being transported into overworld map, through which you can traverse with a little nicely painted car and arrive at the specific destination that the case urges you to go to.
Got you.
Mouse P.I for Hire has more than 10 biomes. Every single biome has somewhere between 1 to 4 levels in it.
Since the story is set in the noir style, we thought that every level in the game should be inspired by locations from the cartoons from that era. We want to make sure that the levels will be not only full of variety of places, but also will be as wacky, as cartoony as possible.
Yeah, I like that. I like that they implemented that.
Genius, you broke the damn air duct.
Streets is one of the earlier levels within the game. So when you first enter the level, you find complete chaos on the streets.
Don't hurt me, officer. It was just a little cheese stick on the sidewalk.
You will see shrews getting beat up. You will see
Damn,
them
bro.
kidnapped. You will see them disappearing.
Man, that shit like GTA, bruh. This shit GTA, bruh.
And yeah, you will see how police officers aren't really there to protect anyone anymore.
Well, that was a speeding ticket for sure.
Your goal on the streets level
Oh,
is
so we
to
got some
enter
corrupt cops in this
police
game.
station and find out what's going on to the larger population of Mouseburg itself. There are enemies running around left and right. You will fight enemies that you haven't seen before, especially in the previous parts of the game.
Here's Jacko.
You will have cops that use batons and try to
Damn.
pacify you with that.
Yeah, I'm using that shotgun.
Enemies. Before that, the previous levels were more.
That's gonna be the first gun I'm using, bro.
Types of encounters.
Wow.
The amount
If
of
I
enemies
could
you
get it, I
encounter.
don't know.
This time when they will come
I don't know
back
what he
with
starts off with. Damn. That was a nice transition.
It's difficult to be a one-man army and the single hero who saves the day, even in a cartoon world. So we want the game to be challenging but fair at the same time.
Where the hell did those lunatics crawl out from?
I'm taking.
Oh, is that a boss right there?
Specific enemies like melee enemies, ranged enemies.
Bro, he got a
tank
ray gun.
enemies. And those are initially presented to you as the player to deal with, learn how they behave, learn what to expect.
That looked like a ray gun right
Then we
there.
add
That was
twists,
crazy.
What we call modifiers to them. So a tank that you've encountered previously that charged on you and you learned to dodge it when it's charging might now also enable a force field around itself that you need to figure out how to deal with. And these modifiers keep it fresh while maintaining the feeling of familiarity when it comes to specific enemies.
Some of the characters are slim and they're moving faster to us. Some of the characters are bigger and they need to stomp around. We need to have the different approach to the characters because it changes the gameplay.
So you actually have to like think and
Type of
stuff when
enemy,
you
will also
fight, you know.
encounter bigger enemies, larger enemies, more complex enemies, like one that we've already shown, the Vicatore, or
Oh my
Vicatore,
God.
as it was nicknamed. And you might also encounter my favorite boss enemy, which is the third wife.
I already know I'm losing to the third wife, bro.
Once you encounter a specific enemy, you would want to.
I already know this shit gonna be hard as fuck. Oh, you gotta,
have a
okay.
standard roster of
Wait.
weapons, so you get a pistol.
Wait, they just gave us a clue for that one. That flashlight, okay? They just gave us a clue. That flashlight is gonna be essential, okay?
Obviously, you have a shotgun, a Tommy gun. But since
That
it's a
Tommy gun
cartoon
is gonna go
world, there's a
crazy.
freeze gun.
With this portable freezer, your meat and dairy will stay preserved until the end of time.
There is what we call a conscious gun, which is basically a brain in a jar attached to a weapon.
Wait, that's crazy.
Making friends becomes mind-blowingly easy.
The different guns in this game reminds me of High on Life, like how they have the different weapons that do things and like they talk to you and stuff like that. That's what it's kind of giving me for this game, which is cool. I like that. And if you know anything about High on Life, that game was fun as fuck. So
The cartoon cannon, it's a cannon. So what do you expect?
Sometimes you knock. Sometimes you knock it down.
The alt fire mode on the
So I'm pretty much saying that to say this is like Cuphead meets Doom meets like High on Life. in a sense. I don't. Am I crazy for saying that? I don't know.
On the other hand, it
Okay.
will allow you to use that loaded cannonball in the weapon, smash it into pieces, and fire a burst of smaller projectiles if you
Damn.
want to deal with more enemies at the same time.
Weapons in the game will also be upgradable.
There's a
Oh,
progression
you
path
can.
for
Oh, this
players.
is gonna be
So it's not
good.
just I gain the weapon and that's it. I can also
Okay,
improve
so
it.
you
I'll
could
gain
upgrade
additional
'em.
firing modes to that weapon. So every single weapon that you encounter as a player or unlock as
Oh.
a player should feel fresh, not a copy paste of something already
I
found.
like
so
that.
Our approach was to give every single weapon a feeling of that's a perfect weapon for that specific enemy. However,
Yo, I like that little throw animation.
single weapon
Hold
a
on.
feeling of
That throw animation. Remember, this game is hand drawn, bro. I know I said that before, but like you have to keep that in mind when you see the little animations and stuff like that. Like somebody drew that. That was cool as fuck.
a perfect weapon for that specific enemy. However, how we designed it and how players use it might be a completely different scenarios.
You need to feel like you actually deal a lot of damage. So we managed to achieve that both animation-wise and sound-wise. We understand that what players feel, it's always a blend of what you see and what you hear on screen, right? So obviously the first and the most important part was to make sure that the sound design properly accompanies the gun.
Yeah.
So we have to balance our sound effects to sound pretty oomphy in a kind of way. You need to feel like you're shooting someone in the face sometime, right? We also need to make sure
I like the sound effects so far from what I heard.
sounds like the old cartoons that we referred to. So what we did, and it's actually a feature that we are really proud of, is we added a couple of different distortion filters to the sound in the game that you can choose from.
Yeah.
Starting with a filter that sounds like very early wax cylinder recordings with a heavy distortion. You can choose to use a filter that resembles, say, 1930s/1940s vinyl records.
Oh, you know we using that.
Obviously, if you want your sound in Mouse to be crispy clean, that's fine. You can opt to do that.
Oh, you know we using that 1930s. Come on.
We want the players to be able to customize their sound experience to an extent, which is pretty cool because it does change how it feels.
You know we using that 1930.
From the beginning,
Ain't no way
I
we
knew
not.
that this game is like no other.
It's handcrafted entertainment full of love, made for real people, by real people, which is amazing.
We just want to give the player
Look at the merch, bro. Fire. I told you they got some fire merch over there. I ain't gonna lie. If you ever see this, let me know, bro. I would rock that. I would rock that. But listen to what he said though. For real people, by real people. No AI shit in this game. I love that.
this fascinating world that is outlandish and relatable at the same time.
The whole game as a package is exciting because every little detail that we work on across every team just makes something unique.
I'm most proud of the team that's building the game and the boundaries that they cross.
Shit, I'm proud of them
every
too. I don't even
single
know 'em.
week, every single month. I know it sounds cheesy, but we create something that is truly a human experience in a world inhabited by mice.
When you are a creator, you always want people to enjoy the work that we do. So it was really outstanding for me that this idea resonates with all variety of people.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to see how players are enjoying it, what they're doing with the game, and seeing the creative fluids that we've put into the project go
Team
beyond
Xbox again, by the way.
We showed you a lot today, but there's definitely more where that came from. So now it's time to step out of your office, gather some clues, connect the dots, and save Mouseburg, because right now you're the city's only hope.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Closing thoughts. I think this game is going to be amazing. I love the art style. I love the fact that there's no AI. Everything is hand drawn, and that is beautiful. I love games where you gotta like figure out clues and stuff like that. That's also big for me. Feel me? I think that's what really caught me. Once I seen that, I was like, oh yeah, I got me, bro. The art style, and then the fact that it's like a first-person shooter. You got like clues and shit. I'm in, bro. I'm excited for this shit to come out for real. Let me know if y'all playing this game in the comments.